What is going on, everyone? This is Ninja Geek here. We got some Fortnite gameplay. This gameplay is not for me. This gameplay comes from my friend. As a quick disclaimer, because if it was for me, it'd probably be pretty atrocious. But thank you for sending in the gameplay for me to use in this gameplay commentary video thing that we're doing here today. And the reason why I have some Fortnite gameplay is because I'm going to talk about my thoughts on Fortnite and why I don't like / do not play Fortnite. There are lots of reasons that all relate back to the same simple reason as just to why I don't play it, and we're going to be going over that in this video. So the first one doesn't really have to do with anything about the game specifically itself. It just more or less has to revolve around the community within Fortnite. The community generally, I feel, within the game itself, because people are excited to get the updates and whatnot, but the YouTube community behind it is absolutely, well, let's just say I watched Drifter's video on the clickbaiting. I mean, I already knew that YouTube when the clickbait stuff was going on. This isn't anything new, but just like the amount and to the depth that it is going on, it just makes me not want to play this game even more. That's just a side note. It's not really anything about the game. But I will leave a link to Drifter's video down in the description below, because I couldn't even believe it when I saw the things that this community was doing just to get views on YouTube. It's absolutely, it's saddening, to say the least. But anyways, I'm getting into the first real issue that I personally have with the game. I love survival games. You know, in the past, like, if you put me in, like, a zombie game or something like that, like, that's perfect, and I love those types of games. But Fortnite is, it's a survival game, but it's a different one. It's a game that I just don't really like. You have one life when you spawn in, and that's pretty much it. Once you die, you have to go play another game, and I don't really like that. You know, relating this to Call of Duty, because you are going to be seeing some Call of Duty gameplay once the Fortnite gameplay runs out here, which I'm sure it will, because I'll keep continuing on with the commentary. Within Call of Duty, I like the ability that you can respawn over and over and over again, even in games like Battlefield or Overwatch or what have you. You know, lots of multiplayer games allow you to respawn constantly, and I like the constant action. That's just my my personal opinion on what I like to play. I don't really like games that once you die, that's it, you have to wait and watch someone, or you just have to start over. And that's why I don't really like Fortnite. Now, like I said, I like a lot of survival games. You know, those are cool. So I get the ability and the idea behind trying to stay alive. It's just Fortnite just doesn't really do it for me personally. But I do understand, like I said, why people like Fortnite. And I understand that. Number 2, or actually this is number 3, is just the randomness that the game holds and the weapons and stuff that you get within the game. So pretty much when you drop down into Fortnite, you have to, you know, go scavenge weapons, and that part's cool. But the weapons and the items that you get, like as you can see here on the bottom, there's a gold or whatever the tiers are in this game. I'm not even sure. I don't know how they work, but there's the purple RPG that he's using, and then they got the gold scar. You know, there's different tiers of weapons, and depending on where you drop, it's all random, and I just don't like that. Now, I understand that Call of Duty has a similar system with the supply drops, where it's pretty much all random. You know, it can be very frustrating, but this game, I just feel like it's more random, because I could spawn in next to 10 other people, and like, let's say I'm in a solo game, I could spawn in next to 10 other people. They could find a gold scar, and I could find a common shotgun, and he'll just like map me from across the map because I'm trying to get something that's better or try and survive, but there's 10 other people, and then that's pretty much it. I have to start over. Or on the other hand, I could spawn in, get a lot of good stuff, then do really well and survive, and then get to the end and die and lose all of that, which is going to get me into my next point, which briefly, you know, discusses what I think next. But I just don't really like the whole randomness of it. You know, that's just another personal taste, another personal opinion. I understand that lots of people like getting these weapons. You know, it makes sense. It really does. But I just do not like that and enjoy that in the games that I like to play. But the next one is the progression system within this game. I understand that there's a lot of common skins There's a lot of cosmetic skins throughout the entirety of the gameplay of Fortnite, and which are really, really cool. I'm not going to dig on that. Overwatch has a lot of cosmetic skins that I would, spend a lot of time grinding to get back when Overwatch was in its prime. And, the skins and stuff are really cool. But ultimately, there's really no progression in Fortnite. When you think of Call of Duty, you have the prestige system, you have weapon unlocks, you have camo unlocks, and all of that good stuff that a lot of people return to the game to play, and Fortnite just doesn't have that for me. Now, I don't really think this is a giant factor because, as I also mentioned, the gameplay I think matters more than the external rewards, but the external rewards are still a big part. In Overwatch, it was pretty much trying to go for skins. Leveling up in that game took a long time, and it was, satisfying to rank up and stuff, but you didn't really get anything because everyone had everything unlocked. It's sort of almost similar to Fortnite with the Overwatch comparison there. But the skins really kept the game alive for me because they were so well put together, and you just wanted to grind out for loot boxes during Overwatch. And, with Fortnite, I guess it's the same sort of thing. It's just I don't really feel like there's a progression system. Maybe now it's because Overwatch kind of got a little bit boring, and I haven't really played it in a long time, so I've been going back to Call of Duty, and then maybe me playing Call of Duty with its progression system, kind of going back to Fortnite, I'm like, yeah, there's really nothing here. I mean, like I said, like, you can get a battle pass and unlock certain things, you can get V-Bucks or this or that, like, I don't entirely know how that works, but I just don't really think that there's much of a progression system, which kind of also turns me off of the game in general. And lastly, I feel that with Fortnite, there's just a giant learning curve that you have to understand about the game before you get to know it. It's sort of like relating again back to Overwatch. With Overwatch, you had to learn each hero, well, the heroes that you wanted to play, and it was just a fun time learning each hero, and I understand that it would be fun learning how to, maneuver and do things within Fortnite. I was going to say Overwatch again. But for me, it just isn't really there. For me, learning how to do something new, maybe it's just because I'm a little bit older than I was when I played Overwatch, and I just don't really have the time to learn how to play the game, or really the drive, in other words, to learn why things work and certain things do this and that within Fortnite. And I just feel it's similar to Destiny, like the original Destiny. I'm not going to get into a huge Destiny kind of rant or explanation or discussion, but Destiny 2, obviously, it didn't really do well with the community. I never played it. I kind of stopped playing Destiny pretty much when Destiny 2 came out because the game just didn't really do that well, all in general, consideration. Destiny 1, though, was absolutely fantastic, and when the demo came out for Destiny 1, the beta, or I should say, the multiplayer was absolutely fantastic. It was all balanced, and it was fun. I loved it. Then when the main game came out, I mainly played against, everyone, not just the multiplayer. Then when I went into the multiplayer a little bit later, everyone had a lot of stuff that I didn't have because I wasn't as high of a light level at that point as a lot of other people who had played the game for hours and hours, and it just turned me off of the game because I would have to grind and grind and grind to just get simply better stuff that I did not have. And I think that's pretty much the same thing with Fortnite. Obviously, in Fortnite, it's all that random stuff that I mentioned, but with Fortnite, you just have to know how to build, and you have to know how to play the game, which it's kind of it's definitely a big learning curve that I just don't really if I came into Fortnite right now really wanting to learn how to play it, I would completely get destroyed, which I have in the past that I have played Fortnite. I mean, I've played Fortnite about 20 or 30 matches solo with friends, and that's just based off of my decision that I don't like it. It's not like I've never played the game before, obviously. I have. It's just I don't like the game. And that's pretty much my thoughts on that. And I actually did forget to mention something earlier on when I was talking about the one life thing, the one life sort of in Fortnite and how you have to kind of reset. Even in Call of Duty, I will say that I despise search and destroy. I meant to say this before in that section, but I forgot about it. In Call of Duty, I despise search and destroy. You get one life, and that's pretty much it, and I don't like it. I probably, in my entire time of Call of Duty, have put in maybe 10 matches into Search and Destroy, if that, and I just don't like it. I don't like the fact that I have to sit there and wait until the round's over to respawn. I like getting back into the action as soon as I can. That's just me. And Fortnite just doesn't really do that for me. I understand it's a very popular game. I understand that it has a lot of things that other games don't necessarily have, and I understand why it's so popular even. Because, let alone the fact that Call of Duty this year with World War II isn't the most popular thing, and they really can't keep up with Fortnite. I congratulate them, Epic Games, on, making a bunch of content for Fortnite that Call of Duty just simply cannot really keep up with. That's really a fact. It's not really an opinion. Obviously, Fortnite is doing, or Epic Games, I should say, is doing a really good job of making updates available for Fortnite, so I understand why it's a very, very popular game, but I just don't like it, and I feel like I had to address it in a specific video because, I feel like one of these days, sooner or later, someone's going to ask why I don't play Fortnite, and this is pretty much the reason why, There might be other reasons factored in there. Maybe I just don't want to, or don't have the desire, or just in general, or would rather not because I don't have the time or want to spend the time doing it. There's all those other reasons out there, but that's just generally why I don't like the game. And so that's why you probably won't see any more Fortnite here on this channel, but I hope you did enjoy my thoughts, and you can let me know your thoughts down below. I will see you on the next one. This is Ninja Geek. I'm out, and peace.